So what I did, it did not violate federal statutes, because otherwise my opponent and my detractor would have a field day.
Recently, opponents continued their field day because...
Have you ever had any kind of discipline from the JQC?
No, I've never. I don't think I've ever had anyone complain. I think if there's a complaint, I think they let you know, but I have never gotten a complaint. So I don't really know what those comments are referring to. If I knew a specific date and time and an incident that happened, I could perhaps remember it, but I don't. So if you have a beef about something, you know, that's what the appellate courts are for. So I don't really...
Look at this Osceola headline. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Michael Rigby will be punished.
Well, if you have access to Westlaw or you have access to the 5th District Court of Appeals website, I think if you look at the number of reversals, they're pretty high, and compared to other judges.
Judge Polano, what explains your number of reversals?
Well,
be tough, get a prison sentence.
I don't really know what those comments are referring to.
Well, if you have access to Westlaw or you have access to the 5th District Court of Appeals website, I think if you look at the number of reversals, they're pretty high.
I see it all so clear, man.
Escapee who triggered a house cleaning at the Osceola County Jail.
And just how those staff members blamed in the escape of Michael Rigby will be punished.
You're going to spend a lot of time in prison.
The only thing promised in life is death. It's the only thing that's promised.
For this to be taken seriously and looked into, and I think it will be.
1-year-old Michael Rigby somehow got through a fence.
Called himself the Ghost. It's just it's a good closer to a chapter in a very difficult time for Osceola County.
He's called the Ghost down there because he tries to make himself elusive, and he's also wanted for staging a daring escape out of a jail in Florida as well. We aired a segment on this case. We brought in leads. We had some leads from this area. This is a guy that police say was one of their top priorities down there, and we're...
Yeah, you're always sort of tugging and pulling at different things that you've experienced in your life, things that have left other people hurt, that you feel maybe a little bit of shame for hurting them in, but you know that you wouldn't be where you are if you didn't kind of go through that journey and put them through the journey.
Hey, Michael. I'm John Lieberman with America's Most Wanted. Did you see yourself on the show? You don't look like much of a ghost now. Are you the ghost?
Yeah. Yeah.
The state has proven that, so that you will be designated as such. We're going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge of sentencing to 22 years in the Department of Corrections with credit for 473 days time served. That will run consecutive to any sentence you're currently serving. We're going to impose court costs in the amount of $398, cost of prosecution in the amount of $100, court-appointed attorney fee. You're Mr. Banquet, you were court-appointed in this case, correct? So that's going to be a $500 court-appointed attorney fee. Is that acceptable for your attorney services? You can have a hearing on that, Mr. Rigby, if you don't agree with that amount. It could be higher than $500. I actually said $500, so is what I was talking about, but I asked you a question. So you can have a hearing on that. I'm assuming, since you're not objecting to it, that will impose the $500 at this point. $100 PDA fee, all of these fees and costs, and I will order costs of investigation and reserve it to any amount. I will also order restitution and reserve it to any amount. Order the DNA sample. All of these fees and costs will be paid consecutive to your other paid through collections for no less than $30 per month. Anything further from the defense?
Here's the series of events that led to the controversy at the Osceola County Jail. First, Michael Rigby's escape on February 19th. Almost a month later, a second inmate, Carlos Rosa, was able to escape. That was March 17th. Then on March 27th, jailers accidentally released the wrong inmate. 3 days later, the head of the Osceola County Jail, Chief Greg Futch, handed in his resignation.
All I want to know is, why must I stay locked up for 27 years?
That could involve the FBI.
The public...
The community, they are afraid. That's the bottom line. They are afraid.
9 investigates allegations of corruption, money mismanagement, and nepotism at the Osceola County Clerk of Courts. And new at 6, we found out the mounting claims